Last time I was reading Is God a Mathematician? Now, now I'll read Loveboat, Taipei by Abigail Hingwen. Loveboat, Taipei, Chapter 4, page 27. Don't panic. I just need to make it through this airport, then I can bury myself in character charts and try not to think of Pearl being 7,627 miles away, or Megan, or Megan dancing in public square with Cindy Sanders, who's taking my place in the parade, or Dan. I can't think of him. With any luck, I'll hide under the radar of my Chinese school prison guard and won't have to speak to anyone for 8 weeks. At a booth, an officer behind glass blasts me in Mandarin. I'm sorry, I handed him my American passport. I don't speak. Frowning, he takes a mugshot, scans my index fingers, hands back my passport, and waves me through. Somehow, I make it to the luggage carousel, where Dad's whale-sized suitcase revolves in a loop. I squeeze between two travelers arguing in Mandarin and drag my suitcase free. It's heavier than I remember. Then I'm jostling along with another herd of travelers into an arrival hall, flowing with a river of more Asian people than I've ever seen. Panic. Panic. A sea of faces rushes me, crowds waving cardboard signs printed with blocky characters and names in English. Someone cries a greeting and jostles me from behind, and then I'm falling. And then caught by a steel rail that divides me from the crowds. Women in stylish blouses, men in beige slacks, though it's hot enough to melt crayons on the floor. And humid. My shirt and hair are plastered to my body already. I make my way past the crowds and outside into a blast of sunlight. Horns honk. Oddly squarish cars rush by, their roar splitting my head into four. Qiantan? I ask a woman with another sign. Qiantan. I know Chinese, by the way. Qiantan. I ask. Qiantan. Anyone know what Qiantan could She's saying Chinese. Qiantan. Whatever. Qiantan? I ask a woman with another sign. I'm looking for... A claw-like hand grips my shoulder, connected to a man with no hair and a face like a horse. The stench of cigarettes and cilantro breaks over me. 你要去哪里? What? 你要去哪里? His grip tightens. Panic overrides all remaining sense. No, I rip free, whirl about face, hell-bent on retracing my steps back onto my plane. The two policemen in blue guard in blue guard the exit. And then my luggage, heavy with inertia, keeps twisting me around, tipping my world. My ankle gives away. Then the pavement rushes to meet me. No railing this time to prevent me from making an undignified, ever-shaped splat on the ground. Her name's Ever. A yell rips from my throat. My suitcase yanks itself free. Then a firm hand on my upper arm stops me inches from the ground. I eyeball a pair of blue jeans-clad legs, black Nikes. Whoa there, he says, and I gape up at an angle at the most handsome guy I've ever seen. Just let me process this a bit. I ask a woman with another sign. I'm looking for a claw-like hand grips my shoulder, connected to a man with no hair and a face like a horse. The stench of cigarettes and cilantro breaks over me. 你要去哪里? What? 你要去哪里? His grip tightens. Panic overrides all remaining sense. No, I rip free. Whirl about face, hell-bent on retracing my steps back onto my plane. His grip tightens, panic overrides all remaining sense. No, I rip free, whirl about face. The two policemen in blue guard the exit. And then my luggage, heavy with inertia, keeps twisting me around, tipping my world. My ankle gives away. Then the pavement rushes to meet me, no railing this time to prevent me from making a splat on the ground. A yell rips from my throat, my suitcase yanks itself free, and then a firm hand on my upper arm stops me inches from the ground. The guy hauls me to my feet. Chapter 5. The guy hauls me to my feet as if I weigh no more than a monkey. I feel like a monkey, a clumsy one in desperate need of a shower, hair combing, and breath mints. You alright? He asks. Jet lag's pretty bad of these flights. It's 4 in the morning for us. He's making excuses for my emotional wreckedness, for looking like I just got spit out of a jet engine, and it's the kindness of this stranger that undoes me. As he releases my arm, I dash it over my damp eyes. The guy hauls me to my feet as if I weigh no more than a monkey. I feel like a monkey, a clumsy one. You're right. Jet lag's pretty bad of these flights. It's 4 in the morning for us. His jet black hair is rumpled into careless spikes, like he doesn't need to bother with first impressions. He's paired an olive green shirt with hip-hugging jeans that mean he either has very good taste or knows someone who has. An olive green shirt with hip-hugging jeans that mean he's tall and leanly buff. I've never seen a real-life guy with so much prime real estate in arm muscles. Hi, I stammer wittily. Hi. He tugs an earphone free. It sings with a homey Beatles song that reminds me of closing down the patio grill in Capital. It sings with a homey Beatles song that reminds me of closing down the patio grill where I worked last summer. Only there has never been a guy like him there. Are you ever Wong? He writes my suitcase with a firm thud and scowls. You're an hour late. We've been waiting for you. 5 minutes into the ride to Qiantan, I realized there's something familiar about Rick Wu. There's something familiar about Rick Wu of the swoon-worthy arms. I don't get this sentence. I realize there's something familiar. I realize there's something familiar about Rick Wu. I realize there's something familiar about Rick Wu of the swoon-worthy arms. Is it his name? Face? Maybe I'm loopy from jet lag, but surely I'd have remembered an Asian guy of his sheer size and bulk. He takes up half our bench, which creaked and sagged toward him when he sat beside me. He moves with a sense of controlled power, almost graceful power, as if he's never taken a wrong step in his life. Meanwhile, my upper arm slowly purples with his handprint, a reminder that I nearly wiped out before him and every occupant of this 15-passenger van. Have we met before? I venture. No. Rick falls into a silence that doesn't invite further conversation. His initial kindness evaporated like a splash of water left behind on the airport pavement. He fidgets with his cell phone, which isn't getting a signal. It drops, and he swears, and he picks it up, and picks it. He swears and picks it up again, removing and reinserting his tiny SIM card. Oh no, I forgot to buy one at the airport like Dad told me to. I've never been as addicted to my phone as my classmates. But now I can't even make a desperate lifeline call to Megan. Megan? What? I have trouble pronouncing this name. Megan. I've never been as addicted to my phone as my classmates, but now I can't even make a desperate lifeline call to Megan. Upside, I don't have to take calls from Mom and Dad either. Rick restarts his phone. His knee jiggles and he drapes his thick-wristed arm over it, and he drapes his knee jiggles and he drapes his thick-wristed arm over it, running his thumb along the inside of his fingers. I have trouble with descriptions like this. His knee jiggles and he drapes his thick-wristed arm over it, running his thumb along the inside of his fingers. In an odd, fidgety gesture. His wall of silence would have felt less awkward if the other kids weren't jabbering a mile a minute around us, as they have since I slipped into my seat. Is he really that annoyed that they had to wait so long for me? Li Han, our driver, who is also apparently head counselor, meets my eyes in his rear view mirror. He is about 10 years older than us, rail thin under his fluorescent yellow Qiantan shirt. So the school's name is Qiantan. With a thick shock of black hair, black rimmed glasses, and a bulldogish jaw. He's about 10 years older than us, real thin, with a thick shock of black hair, black rimmed glasses, and a bulldogish jaw. He speaks in Mandarin, and with a jolt, I catch my Chinese name, I Mei, which he'd used to check me off his list. So her name is Wang I Mei. Huang I Mei. Why would you do that, I Mei's parents? I catch my Chinese name, I Mei, which he'd used to check me off his list. I, love, and Mei, beauty, which has always felt less pretentious in Chinese. No, it's not. But no one but my grandpa, who named me, ever used it in real life, and he passed away when I was 4. On Rick's other side, by the door, a beautiful girl with pencil straight black hair spilling over her creamy shoulders wraps up her flirting match with a hawk-nosed guy named Mark. A beautiful girl with pencil-straight black hair spilling over her creamy shoulders wraps up her flirting match with a hawk-nosed guy named Mark. Beside him is a prematurely graying guy named Spencer Sue, who apparently is taking a gap year to work on a Senate campaign. What? Named Spencer Sue, who apparently is taking a gap year to work on a Senate campaign this fall. I haven't gotten the girl's name yet, and I feel a pang wishing Megan were here. Everyone seems to know each other already. I know the feeling. That was not part of the book. Beside him is a blah 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 who apparently is taking a gap year to work on a Senate campaign this fall. I haven't gotten the girl's name yet, and I feel a pang wishing Megan were here. Everyone seems to know each other already. The van jolts over a pothole as the girl leans over Rick. Who's Rick? As the girl leans over Rick, her heart-shaped face tapers to a cleft chin. I don't know what cleft means. Should write that down in my vocabulary notebook. Dark brown eyes curl ever so slightly down either side of her nose. Her tangerine dress tightens around against generous curves and could have come off a runway. By comparison, my lilac V-neck shirt over jean cut-offs feels grungy. Another word I don't know. Grungy. Even if I changed before deplaning, I don't own anything half as nice. I'm gonna have to stop here.